Hi, today I'm going to be talking to you about demystifying these myths around self-care. Now, self-care isn't about doing your nails or going on a retreat by yourself. I mean, it can be, but there are so many ways to practice self-care, and there are so many myths around what self-care is and what its actual meaning is. And that also means that there's a major confusion, especially for women in particular, who tend to feel very guilty about nurturing their own needs. And it actually makes sense why women in particular tell me they stumble around feeling drained, exhausted, depleted. And according to some generational stats, 44% of millennials actually practice self-care. 57% of baby boomers also practice self-care. So today, I'm going to delve into my top 4 myths about self-care and identify 4 super easy alternative practices to enhance your self-care and how to approach it whilst leaving guilt at the door. But before I give you these tips, a quick reminder that if you aren't already subscribed to this YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I'm also opening my community for women who are in high pressured roles, especially those who are suffering from anxiety, stress, brain fog, especially if they feel out of control. The free Facebook group is where I give away these handy tips, videos, easy to follow guides, and it's called Hybrid Performance for Female Leaders, and it's free to join. And this community is about empowering women, raising our own levels of success and thriving in personal and professional relationships, becoming powerful agents of change. Now, this link can be found in the description box below. So back to the good stuff. Self-care is about looking after yourself to improve your health and well-being. So, when is it appropriate to use self-care? Minor illnesses. This can be when you experience a cold, the flu, indigestion, back pain, headaches, skin irritations. And you will also notice self-care when you have minor injuries, such as a muscle pull, strains, or any physical ailment. Self-care is when you are recovering and need rest. Fluids, medication, exercise, stopping habits such as smoking, alcohol consumption, or putting in place a better nutritional routine or plan. Self-care also includes managing long-term conditions. They are like asthma, diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure. And this needs consistent, effortful time and energy for self-care. There is an overwhelming majority of people who agree that self-care is strongly connected to taking care and personal responsibility for one's own health. And it's really important to be a part of the self-care routine to promote your overall health and wellness. So the juicy stuff. What are my top 4 myths about self-care? So the juicy stuff, what are my 4 top myths about self-care? 1 is all or nothing. Take the whole day for a spa, even though it's a great to pamper yourself day. You don't need to break the bank or set aside a day to practice self-care. Myth number 2, self-care is a luxury. You need time and money to enjoy a spa break or a holiday. Now, I used to think of this, but really it was because I wanted to escape where I was at. It didn't assess what the root cause of my unhappiness was. But self-care doesn't mean luxury. Debunk myth number 3, self-care is unfeminine. Self-care and caretaking in particular is depicted as a woman's role. And it doesn't make sense for women to play a supporting role in her own show. If your needs are going unmet, ask yourself, who is the main character in your life? And would you stick to or change this? Myth number 4, self-care is anything that soothes you. Although I will talk about ways in which self-care can be introduced in the second part of this video, self-care isn't about turning to alcohol, food, or binging Netflix shows because they help you feel good in the moment. These can turn into addictive and overall unsupportive to your health and wellness. And in fact, that compulsive, harmful effect will seep into your mind, body, or even bank account. So I can spew out a ton of examples of self-care, but the biggest take-home point is self-care is different for everyone. If you are to look after yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, well, the answer to these and finding solutions that will work for you will be unique and individual. Anything you can do to make yourself feel good, feel better is considered a form of self-care. Now, I'm going to spew out a few stats from America because they weren't as readily available data sources for the UK. So it is important to note that we are possibly heading into this trajectory of the US based on the Western culture. So maybe we're looking at anticipation of what's going to happen in the UK as a precursor of these statistics I'm going to talk to you about. So these are some stats around self-care, and I'll give you four take-home main points on how to enhance self-care in your life immediately. 80% of all Americans don't exercise enough and do not meet the guidelines for both aerobic and muscle strengthening activities. Self-care means make sure we get enough exercise to maintain our health, our well-being, our weight, and physical strength. Individuals who spend more than 120 minutes in nature per week have a higher level of exposure and better health, better well-being than those reported to have no exposure. Women who had recently been diagnosed with breast cancer scored higher on several attention tasks compared to the standard care controls when they followed a 5-week period of spending 120 minutes per week in a natural restorative environment. Now, self-care awareness can be an opportunity to reconnect with nature more regularly. I know for me, it calms, it soothes me, it brings me to the present environment, and I disconnect from everything else when I'm in nature. So it could be an opportunity to reconnect with your children or in many different forms, like spending time in nature, preparing meals together, or spending time simply just having a conversation with one another. Now in US, the use of meditation in the past 12 months has tripled. Between 2012 and 2017, there was a 10% rise in the use of meditation. So why is this important? Meditation is a great exercise, and it's proven to reconnect with ourselves and raise our self-awareness. It's also proven to strengthen insomnia, depression, and anxiety. The third interesting fact is, how long do you think satisfying sexual intercourse lasts? Wow. Satisfactory sexual intercourse for couples lasts from 3 to 13 minutes, contrary to popular fantasy about the need for hours of sexual activity. So why is this important? Well, satisfying intercourse is important as an act of self-care, and it has tremendous impact on our well-being. Frequent orgasms for women affect things such as mental and relationship factors, sexual desire, sexual self-esteem, openness of sexual communication with partners. And women valued their partner's orgasm more than their own, but there are positive determinants that promoted female orgasm, such as the ability to concentrate, mutual sexual initiations, partners' good sexual techniques, a relationship that felt good, a partnership that worked well emotionally, and a relationship where sex was approached openly and appreciatively. Satisfying intercourse is an important act of self-care, and it has a tremendous impact on our well-being, and it's creating a high bond between couples. So this means that self-care can improve and boost your physical health, reduce anxiety and stress, boost your self-esteem, as well as protect your mental health and enhance relationships with your partner, your family members, and your friends. So just to recap, look after yourself. Your body can be nourished, can be cared for by brushing your teeth, taking a warm bath, reading, exercising, getting more sleep at night. You could spend more time in nature, and that will reduce your levels of anxiety and stress. And this could just be going out for a simple walk and listening to music, listening to the birds, anything that can bring your attention into the moment and lift your mood. Practicing meditation, talk to a friend, even taking the moments to care for yourself mentally, physically is so important, and reducing insomnia, depression, and anxiety. And finally, the importance of cultivating your relationship with your body, your partner, your family, your friends. This could be initiating some intimate moments with your loved one, or simply putting aside some time to call or have coffee with a friend. It's so easy to put somebody else's needs first, but you must fill your own cup up by taking care of your health and well-being too. So if you liked these tips, hit the like button. For new watchers, I would love for you to join the community and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget, the link to Hybrid Performance page is in the description box below. I hope you have an awesome day and liked this video.